Hi, the Unity family. We're back again on the AfricaUnity platform. My name is KingIdris and I'm here to give you guys a new insight on what is going on the home ground in Africa and international community. Today, my people will be talking about the Women King, the movie. We'll be talking about the movie and the history and the impact on the home ground on the African soil. So, my people, the real home of the Women King is Benin Republic. Benin Republic is a Western French colonized country in the west side of West Africa. So it's a country that after Nigeria, Benin Republic in the middle, then you have Togo, then from Togo you have Ghana, from Ghana you have Cote d'Ivoire, from Cote d'Ivoire you have Burkina Faso, then Benin Republic is a prolific, beautiful home in West Africa that had a rich culture in the past transatlantic slave trade and some prolific era, one of the prolific figure in the slave trade era and war times in the onshore in the forest area in West Africa. So Benin Republic origin started in 13th century in the present day Togo, because for a lot of people know in West Africa that Togo and Benin Republic had a lot of similarities. They have a lot of similar culture, and the modern day Togo is being situated after Benin Republic on the western side in West Africa. So the origination, which a lot of people understand about the Women King, started truly in 17th century. 17th century was the time of Gecko, the King Gecko, whereby he was the one that took the Mina, popularly known as the Amazon warriors, that took them to the highest height. And the history of the women soldier itself started when the twin sister of the great king at the time, Agbaja, in Benin Republic, his first son, they have two twins. One of the twins, the boy, passed away. After the death of the first twin, the first son out of the twins, a boy and a girl, the boy name is Akaba and the girl name is Angbe. After the death of Akaba, Angbe took power in 1716 in Benin Republic in then Dahomey kingdom. And when she took power, she formed her own soldiers out of one of the bravest and one of the fearless hunters in Benin Republic at the time. She put them together and she formed her own warriors, which a lot of people in the Western Shore know them as the Amazons, and we know them as the Mina warriors, out of Benin Republic, the old Dahomey Empire, which they moved them and talked about their history in the Woman King in the movie. But a lot of Africans knows that the history itself about the old Dahomey Empire brought a lot of deceit, a lot of because there's a lot of betrayal, because the king at the time was being betrayed by his younger brother and sold his elder brother, the king, to the French merchant. He betrayed his brother with the help of some Brazilian merchant at that time on the coast of Africa in Benin Republic. The rise of the Woman King. After the death of Akaba, Ambe, the twin sister, became the king and formed the strong soldier out of the coast of West Africa. They call them the bodyguard of the king. They're fighters that they are called female soldiers, that they fought like men and they have respect for the king and they protect to the king to the last line, because they were the last people that stood against the fight against France when the Dahomey Empire collapsed in 1894. But Benin Republic, the Dahomey Empire at the time, defeated France 2 times before they later defeated them and took over the Dahomey Empire in 1894 with a lot of treaty. The height of Mina warriors, the height of the female women warriors, or the king's bodyguard as we will call them, was in the 17th century. After the abduction and the betrayal of Kondo, Kondo was the last great king of Dahomey Empire, and his coronation name is Ben Hassan. So Kondo is the same as Ben Hassan. He was being betrayed by his brother Gochi, which helped with the help of a Brazilian merchant in 1894. Dahomey Empire last battle with the France, the Mina warriors, was the last defense to the empire, to the fearless, courageous, brave, strong empire. So my people, the history of Benin Republic and Dahomey Empire comes with a lot in history, because it started with the old Oyo Empire, when the old Oyo Empire was taking people from the Benin Republic as slaves. They were, raiding their communities, going after their communities one after the other, and taking everything they have from them. It's not only them, the old Oyo Empire, they are very strong empire that people believe them to come. They are part of the Yoruba Empire, one of the ancient Yoruba Empire at the time after Ile-Ife. And most of the Yoruba race, they believe them to come from the Kemite Empire, the old Kemite Empire in Egypt. After the fall of Kemite Empire by the Rome, when the Rome took over Egypt, most of the people from Kemite went to a lot of places in the forest area in Africa, and everybody situated themselves and start a lot of old empire that now becomes great states and countries today, like Nigeria, like Sudan, like South Sudan, like Tanzania, a lot of countries in West Africa, like South Africa. This is what we talked about. It's all about unity. And the great nation in times of this era that had a good impact on the era of the Mina warriors and the great Amazon fighters at the time was the place called Port Novo. They know them as Bida, as Boko. They are the main place for selling of slave, and a lot of they have a lot of ties with the old people. They have a lot of ties with the people from the old Oyo Empire in the western region of the modern day Yoruba land. Boko or Port Novo is being used as a slave trade center and to communicate with the French colonizers, and is a home that is being tied with the old Oyo Empire, because old Oyo Empire were the one that first captured Boko at the time, the modern day Port Novo. And if you go to Port Novo today, you can still see the rich culture of the Yoruba people in Port Novo. Even though they speak French, they're still together. You can see the massive, enormous culture of the Yoruba people. And there was a time, the rich wealth out of Benin Republic that everybody talks and they know about is the rich resources of the palm oil. The palm oil. Benin had a lot of rich in palm oil. They have a lot of success in palm oil, and this come after the abolishment of the slave trade, because the French and the Western countries, after the scramble of Africa, they took over Africa, and the French took a lot of portion out of Benin Republic. And this comes because Africa and the white people have been in trade. They've been trading for 1,000 years. In Africa, there have been a continuous trade with the white people and people on the African soil for 1,000 years. So after this 1,000 years, they stood and they sit down together, without the consent of the people on the home ground in Africa. The scrabble of Africa. They just divided Africa, and Benin Republic was being given to French. After Benin Republic was being given to the French people used this as an opportunity to make an advancement on Port Novo. 2,000 soldiers came to Port Novo and they descend on the capital in 2,000 soldiers came to Port Novo and they descend on the capital in Dahomey. After descending on the capital in Dahomey, they captured the then area of the whole of Benin Republic. And the reason is they made this advancement in times because Benin Republic has a lot of history of trading with Germany in the deal of buying ammunition to protect its people from the old Oyo Empire. Western region had its own war going on between the old Oyo Empire, Agbume Empire, Benin Empire, Songhai Empire, Hausa Empire, Fulani Empire, Kanem Empire. Everybody had their own problem at the time. But the white men play a con game between our leaders, between our people in sales of ammunition, gun. They make this trade with them and they started buying people, buying Africans in slave trade. So Benin Republic had a lot of history in selling a lot of people to the sugarcane farm, which a lot in West Indies, because in West Indies at the time, the Benin Republic sold a lot of slaves to West Indies through this greedy and conquest, because they don't want to be captured, they buy ammunition, and because they had history in strong architecture and they're well civilized on the soil of West Africa, and they really understand the climate and how the forest area in West Africa works. So the history of the Woman King, the movie, is not a good look for some African people because it comes with a lot of grief. It comes with a lot of bad history. It comes with a lot of it's not what the African people want the world to even speak about of Africa, because the way they put the Mina, the Amazon fighters, they paint them as one of the one of the strongest fighter on the surface of this world, and they're like the cruel fighters that they kill people with no mercy. They do whatsoever they like to people. They're fearless, that they come hungry, attacking people with their bare hands, chop off people's head. A lot of stuff that goes down this time. And it talks about the massive killings of the enormous killing of a lot of people in Benin Republic, where the white people that capture a lot of slaves to kill a lot of people by throwing them in the river to sacrifice them to their own belief as their god of commerce, while taking them to the United States or taking them to North America, West Indies, the Caribbean, anywhere they took them to. The people that you see now in the Western world that they talked about them, that they bring their four great forefathers, they're strong people, because a lot of people died on the way. So the Woman King movie talks a lot about the crew, barbaric, worst, strongest female soldier on the soil of Africa. Even we can even talk about it in the world. So this happened in 17th century. It's a good look for the people that bring out the movie, but a lot of people in Africa have a lot to say about this movie. They have a lot to say about this movie. So my people, I just came to give you guys the insight to know what happened from the Agbume Empire to now Benin Republic, because the and they call them the children of panthers, because it's the beginning. They know them as the children of panthers, the people from Benin Republic. So I'll be coming to an end of the segment today. I'll be saying one people, one Africa, one unity. On my platform is all about unity over division. I'll be coming back with other content and to give you guys the new insight of what is going on in the home ground in Africa and international community. One love. Thank you.